You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
And Tribulation Trump has been calling Elijah Cummings some pretty awful names, mainly because Elijah Cummings, who is the chairman of the Oversight Committee, has done something that even Robert Mueller would not do and everybody else is afraid to do, and to subpoena Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. And he's gonna get them, and they all gonna go to jail. But by the time Elijah Cummings get through with Ivanka, she's gonna become somebody's little girl, and Jared gonna become somebody's bitch in prison. No, he's gonna get him. So Trump is ticked off about this, and he found an opportunity to throw some bombs at Elijah Cummings. But that's not my point. My point is this, is that Mark Meadows was accused of being a racist going back about 6 months ago. I forget the name of the hearing that was going on at the time. And somebody, I think it was Toledo Rashid who did it, called him a racist. And Mark Meadows started crying, started weeping like a little girl. I mean, he was wee-weeing all over. I'm not a racist. My family members are people of color. Mark Meadows is from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. I don't know him. But he was crying like a little baby there in the Senate hearing, right? Congressional hearing, rather. And so Elijah Cummings stopped the proceeding and said, now, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Mark Meadows is my best friend, and I don't think he's a racist. And that stopped it. Because you know Elijah Cummings is a homeboy. He's a Hamite. Now, the other day, Tribulation Trump called Elijah Cummings a racist and some other ugly, ungodly names, talked about his town, his work. And so we were all waiting with bated breath for Mark Meadows, who's a white boy, a Japheth boy, to come to the aid of Elijah Cummings. Well, I think Mika Brzezinski can tell it better than I can tell it. So I'm going to let you listen to Mika Brzezinski lay this thing out for you, and I'll be right back with some closing comments.
The president continued his smear campaign against Congressman Elijah Cummings yesterday, ramping up his assault with unsubstantiated allegations of corruption. Trump tweeted last night, Baltimore's numbers the worst in the United States on crime and the economy. Billions of dollars have been pumped in over the years, but to no avail. The money was stolen or wasted. Ask Elijah Cummings where it went. He should investigate himself with his oversight committee. So the president going after him as head of oversight. That is an interesting parallel. That is an interesting enemy that the president is taking on. We are also hearing from Republican Congressman Mark Meadows, whose friendship with Cummings was on display when the House Oversight Chairman defended Mark Meadows against allegations of racism earlier this year. His response came as the president attacked his friend for a third straight day on Twitter, accusing him of being racist. Meadows writes this: I'm friends with both men and President Trump and Chairman Cummings. I know both men well. Neither man is a racist, period. Both love America. I think if we put aside partisanship with investigations, we can find bipartisan solutions that will benefit not only Chairman Cummings' district, but the country as a whole. I am committed to working to that end with both of them. Meadows did not mention Trump's claim that Cummings engages in, quote, radical oversight and is a, quote, incompetent leader. The statement also ignored Trump's claim that Cummings' district is a filthy, disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess where no human being would want to live. But earlier this year, Meadows cried. He cried really hard when he himself was accused of being on the wrong side of an issue involving race. Take a look.
My nieces and nephews are people of color. Not many people know that. You know that, Mr. Chairman. You and I have a personal relationship that's not based on color.
Mr. Meadows, you know, and of all the people on this committee, I've said it and gotten in trouble for it, that you're one of my best friends. I know that shocks a lot of people.
And likewise, Mr. Chairman.
But you are. And I would do, and I could see and feel your pain. I feel it.
Really? Mark Meadows, just a couple of questions. Can you feel Elijah Cummings' pain when he's called a racist? Because you were crying there. You were truly upset. You were deeply shocked and appalled that you were called a racist. And Elijah stood up for you. Right there in front of the cameras, come what may. No matter what happened to him, he stood with his friend. And you couldn't even do it. But you were so upset, you were crying like a baby. You were crying so hard at the thought of being called a racist, so you know how much that hurts, especially if it's not true, and you did not stand up for your friend. So you have just shown America that you cannot be counted on. You have just showed your voters you cannot be counted on, that you will take the weak way out. That was pathetic. You had a moment yesterday where you could step up and return the favor because it was the right thing to do, and you took a pass because you are weak and spineless, and you think that some sort of relationship with this president is going to bring you somewhere good. If he leaves office after 4 years, there's a chance he won't even go back to Mar-a-Lago. This doesn't end well, Mark Meadows. And also, it's a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of right and wrong. You know what it feels like to be called a racist when you believe you're not, which many would question about you, but he didn't. He took a stand in real time. You took a pathetic, many moments to figure out some sort of pathetic statement that said nothing. You did nothing.
Now, I can tell you this, Candace Owen and Jesse Lee Peterson and Thomas Sowell and Alveda King and a bunch of others. I'm gonna tell you something, these white boys, they got a double standard. Now, y'all can think that Fox News and whatever else y'all doing and everything, you think everything's everything. You just wait. I'm gonna tell you something, the same way Mark Meadows slammed Elijah Cummings, the same way Mark Meadows, like a snake, tried to get out of that, talking about I know both men, neither one of them are racist. I'm gonna tell y'all, Alveda King, you ain't never been nobody nowhere. You're always trying to hang on to the King name. The King people don't care nothing about you. These King children don't care nothing about because you ain't never been nobody, and you ain't gonna never be nobody, and everybody knows that. And Thomas Sowell, I'm disappointed in you, and Jesse Lee Peterson, well, with your tied tongue self, I don't even know how you ever got into anything anyway. You can't talk, tied tongue, cross-eyed, and you're ugly. Plus you're stupid. So but y'all gonna find out these white boys got a double standard. I'm gonna tell you something. They ain't coming to your rescue. I'm gonna tell you, when the tables are turned, like Mark Meadows did not come to Elijah Cummings' rescue, they ain't coming to get y'all. They ain't coming to help you. So you better take it from me as best you possibly can. That's exactly what's going on. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.